Welcome all my subscribers and new viewers. And today I have another Life of a High School story, so let's begin, shall we? So this story happened very recently meaning tomorrow, or not tomorrow, yesterday. And with it, this story takes place in choir, in which I have a deep hatred of choir. Not really hatred, but more of like an annoyance for it, because I really just can't stand the class. There are only a few people in there who I generally just talk to. There's about, I'd say, 5 people that I talk to, and the rest either I just don't care, or I feel as they hate me, so I really just don't care at all. I just have a whole story about that, but I'm not gonna get into it. So this happened yesterday, and yesterday we had a sub. Thank you that we had a sub, but we had a sub, and she was pretty cool. So what happened was, well, before I get into my story, what happened in the previous period, apparently the whole entire, well, not the whole entire class, but a majority were just disrespecting her. My friend in my choir class, he is a TA in there, and is generally not really liked by the people in that class. So he wanted to say something to, tell him like, hey, knock it off, respect the sub. But he didn't. And he felt as though, like, if him being the bigger man, it would make everybody just even hate him more. So he didn't really say anything, but still, if you're already hated by the people, just, say what you have to say, what is the right thing to do, and if they hate you, then whatever. But he didn't. But anyway, so they were disrespecting her, they weren't really doing what they were supposed to do. The sub said this is what you have to do, and none of them were really doing it, because nobody really takes it serious. You can tell who takes it serious. There's like a few people in the regular choirs who take it serious, and then everybody else is just in it for whatever reason. Even though they already have to just take it only for 1 year, some of them have returned back, but I guess they just want an easy A. But yeah, they were just disrespecting her, and then they're supposed to practice in their sectionals. For those of you who do not know of high choir standards, or just basic standards at all for choir, I really don't know, but there are 4 sections. There's, for 2 sections for guys, there's a bass where the guys sing the low parts, and tenors that sing the high parts. And in girls, you have altos who sing the low parts, and the sopranos who sing the high parts. So apparently they were supposed to branch off and go practice the songs that they're supposed to do for the upcoming concert. And the altos, they're supposed to go into one of the back rooms. So we had 2 back rooms. They're supposed to go into one of them to practice. So only 2 altos got up and went to go practice their music. And they were waiting and waiting and waiting, and apparently the other altos just really didn't care. They were all talking about their lives, like, oh my gosh, I did this during spring break. Oh, you did that? Oh, I did that too. And, stuff like that. So one of them in the alto in the back room just had enough, and she walked out to the big area and said, all altos, can you please come in so we can practice our songs? And I'm assuming in a nice voice, just a nice, sweet voice. And all the altos just look at her, and they stare. And then they just go back to just talking. So that got her mad, and so she responded, this is why we effing suck. And she slams the door, and I'm pretty sure after that, it was just awkward. Just silently awkward. And my friend, he tried so hard not to laugh out loud. If I was in his shoes, I would laugh. Because she just straight up said why they suck. Because they don't apply any effort at all. But that was with their issues and everything like that. So then we come in, 6th period, end of the day. Everybody's tired. Everybody just really just wants to get this class done with, and they can go home and go party or whatever. And that's me, because I just have to, as soon as I'm done with that class, I walk home, go home, take a nap, do my homework, and boom, I'm ready. I cannot stand the class by now. I just can't stand everything that the class does. So I just tend to be, on days I try to be more active than I am, and on days I try to just be as silent and out of the way as possible. But anyway, so we tenors, I have a whole backstory about that. I'm pretty sure I'll get into that a whole lot later. But anyway, we have this one back room that's always been usually ours ever since me and a few of my other friends joined Chamber Singers. That's the name of our high group. We joined them last year for our junior year. And it's always been like our room. it has been like we didn't like own the room, but mostly we always went into that room, and everybody just associated that room as the tenors. So apparently one of our friends in the tenor group, he was in the room, and then a soprano came into the room too. So those two were fighting of who got the room, who did what, blah blah blah. There was another room that was open, but nobody wanted to go use that. The altos didn't care, they were going to practice outside. The bass was going to just take the office. So there was a free room. So I went in there, I just sat down, and they were just having a little cat fight, just trying to push each other out of the way and everything. And then all of a sudden, the whole squad of sopranos just walk in and everything. And you still have those two, the soprano and the tenor, just trying to, you know, kick each other out and everything. And so our tenor's like, we have this room, we have always had this room, and there's another room over there you guys can go into. And then the soprano's like, well, we want this room. And then he's all like, well, you can have this room. And then every soprano was all talking loud, and those two were still arguing about who got the room. And I couldn't hear anything at all. I was just into every conversation. I was just eavesdropping in every single one. And then my friend tenor calls my other friend from the tenors to come in and like help. So he comes in, you know, he walks in the doorway, you know, all big and manly, like, you know, about to settle everything down like he did in 5th period. But he comes in, and then he suggests, well, why don't we go out and get the other room? There's another room open. He really just didn't care at all. I didn't either, but I liked the whole drama that was playing out, because like I said, I just do not care about choir anymore. I really don't. I already got my credits. I'm done. I would just rather have a C, and that's it, just a C. But so yeah, he suggested that. Obviously, nobody heard him because nobody pays attention to any of his suggestions. Only a few times, but most of the times, no one either like really listens to him, or they just don't care. So he goes in and says, "Why don't we use the other room?" Nobody hears him, so he's like, "All right, whatever. You know, I really don't care now." So then everyone's still, you know, talking and everything like that. And then one of the sopranos, she associates herself as the leader of the whole group. She comes in and she orders. She doesn't say it in a nice way, but she orders in a demanding, strong, yelling voice and says, "Hey, all sopranos, let's go to the other room." And one of the soprano girls that was sitting right next to her, she's like, "Can you please not yell in my ear? Please?" And then it escalated from the tension from us onto her. Because, don't get me wrong, the leader, she's a nice person. But when she wants to take charge, she takes charge in a demanding way. And no one likes it at all. So, like I said, she's a nice person and everything. You know, when she is, when she's, you know, she's calm and nice and everything, she's fun to be around with. But when she's trying to take charge, that's when the demon's unleashed. And yeah, she just, whoa, a lot of screaming and yelling from her. So then everybody just started like, you know, "Don't scream in my ear." And then, "Oh, I'll leave." The one other girl from the soprano said, "Oh, I'll leave if you ask me politely." You know, like, you know, like that sassy kind of way, like, "Oh, I'll leave if you ask me politely." You know, like that. So they're all like pretty much mad at her. So we got kicked out. The sopranos got the room. We got kicked out because the bass leader comes in and is like, "Hey, come on guys, just come with us. We'll have collaboration." And I was really excited because maybe we could have the very first tenor soprano collab right now. But it just will never happen, and I'm pretty sure it will never happen at all ever again. But so we go over to the basses. We're there, and I guess the basses didn't really want us, because then like the leader came back again and he said, "All right, tenors, you can have the room." So yeah, we pretty much not wanted from either the basses and the sopranos. The altos, I really don't think they even want us either. So we have our own little room. That was all it. It was just a big drama and everything like that, and it was just chaotic. Just, it escalated way too much. I didn't care where we were, outside, in the front, in the other room. I didn't care where we were. I was just sitting down because I wanted to, because I just, like I said, I don't care about that class anymore. I'm done with everything that goes on there. And there's a whole lot of other stories that happened in choir. Most of them I have forgotten already. But the big, huge reason about why I really just do not like choir anymore. I'll tell the story sometime later on, but right now, just bear in mind, you know, keep that mental note. Just put a pin in that, you know. as a reminder that I just don't like fire. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll be seeing you guys all next time. See ya!